Hello again, lecturer Nation. I'm back in a module which is called Occupational Health, Safety and Security. This is a good lesson which makes more people to be happy and to know how they can protect their organization, their homes and their public areas where this occupational health and safety security has played a great role in many industries, many organizations and in every public workplace. Welcome. This course has 15 credits. Let's begin with a purpose and a statement to ask. This module deals with the skills and knowledge required to establish and maintain a health, safe and secure workplace in a range of settings within a hospitality industry work context. At the end of this module, the trainee will be able to identify workplace health, safety and security responsibilities, develop and maintain a framework to maintain workplace health, safety and security, implement procedures for identifying health, safety and security hazard and risk, implement procedures for assessing health and security risk, to implement procedures for controlling health, safety and security risks, investigate injuries, illness and incidents, evaluate the organization's health, safety and security effectiveness. By the end of these modules, the trainee will be able to the following things, or the element of competence. That we look on the elements of competence. One, he will be able to describe the legislated right and obligation of employer, review and assess effectiveness of the system that has been put in a place, access compliance with legislated and internal requirement. When we have been discussing about this point, but let's try to come and understand every word by word in order to understand what this module aims to, or how it referred, or how it is defined. The occupation is a person, a job, or regular activities, or hobby, or anything that people can do that can brings an income to him or her. When we mean a health, let's look on health and safety. Health is a state of overall well-being encompassing physical, mental, and social aspects. You may be health in a physical, mental, or social. When we mean physical health, this refers to the state of the body and its psychological system. When you are good in physiological system, that means that you are physical health. When your cognitive and emotional well-being, you are good in emotion, well-being and cognitive, that is a mental health related to the cognitive and emotional well-being. Social health refers to the quality of the relationship and social interaction with others. You may be good, and those all that you is when you shall say that, or you shall say and tell that your health. Safety refers to the condition of being protected from harm, danger or injury. It encompasses measures and practice aimed at preventing accident, injuries and illness in various settings including workplace, homes, public spaces and recreation areas. You may ask yourself some legislated right and obligation of employer, cause and every organization should has or should be begun by someone, should be invested by someone, or in order to start an organization there should be someone who is in charge, or the owner or the employer. There is legislated rights and obligation of those employers in order to maintain the security, safe, or the health of his employees. The specific health, safety, security policies of the host employer can vary depending on factors such as the nature of the industry, the size of organization, and applicable regulation. However, here is a general outline of what such policies might entail. One is health policies. Health policies would include provision for maintaining a safe and health work environment for employees. This may involve measures such as providing access to clean drinking water, proper ventilation, and adequate lighting. Policies related to promoting employees' well-being include initiatives such as wellness program, health screening, and access to healthcare resources or referrals. Procedures for handling medical emergencies or illness in the workplace would also be outlined in health policies, including protocol for first aid, emergency response, and reporting procedures. There is also safety policies. Safety policies would address the identification, assessment of hazard in the workplace. This may involve conducting regular risk assessment or implementing safety procedures and protocol and providing appropriate training to employees. Policies related to personal protective equipment or PPE would specify when and how PPE would be used to protect employees from occupational hazards such as chemical exposure, noise, or physical injuries. Emergency preparedness and response plans would be detailed in safety policies, including procedures for evacuation, fire safety, and dealing with other emergencies such as natural disasters or workplace accident. There's another one which is called security policies. Security policies would focus on protecting employees, visitors, and the company's assets from unauthorized access, theft, vandalism, or damage, or other security threats. Policies related to information security would address measures for safeguarding sensitive data such as customer information, trade secrets, or proprietary business data from unauthorized or misuse. Security protocols for handling incidents such as procedures for investigation and reporting. Now here that was legislated right of the employer. Let's look for employees. There is also legislated right and obligation of employees. Legislated right and obligation of employees can vary significantly depending on jurisdiction and the specification or specific laws in a place. However, some common rights and obligations typically found in employees' registration include right to safe workplace. Employees has right to work in an environment that is safe and free from hazard that may cause harm or injury. Again, he has a right to fair compensation. Employees has the right to receive fair compensation for their work, including minimum wage law, overtime pay, and a regulation regarding payment frequent. A right to equal treatment. He has already, employees are protected from discrimination based on characteristics such as race, gender, religion, age, disability, or sexual orientation. He has also the right to privacy. Employees has the right to privacy in the workplace, including protection against unreasonable searches of personal belongings and electronic communication. He has also the right to leave. Many jurisdictions provide employees with the right to take leave for various reasons, including illness, childbirth, or adoption. family care, giving responsibilities, and military services. An obligation to perform duties. Employees has an obligation to perform their job duties to the best of their abilities and accordance with employees' expectation. Failure to fulfill job responsibilities may result in discriminatory action up to and including termination of the employees. He has also an obligation of loyalty. Employees generally has obligation to act in the best interests of the employer and to avoid a conflict of interests. He also has an obligation to follow the company policies. Employees are typically required to adhere to company policies and procedures as outlined in employees handbook or manual. This may include policies related to attendance, dress code, or workplace conduct, and use of the company resources. There is also the job description that incorporate health, safety, and security. Below is a job description incorporating health, safety, and security responsibilities. For example, let's look on the following. The health, safety, and security coordinator will be responsible for establishing and maintaining a comprehensive health, safety, and security program within the organization. The role involves collaborating with managers to ensure fulfillment with regulations, developing training program, and disseminating information to promote a culture of safety and security. His responsibilities is to establish a working relation with manager or the management. To collaborate with management is in order to understand organization goal and objective related to health, safety, and security, or even to provide guidance and support to management in implementing policies and procedures to maintain a safe and secure workplace environment. He also creates a health, safety, and security reporting structure. In this one, he developed and implemented a reporting structure for our health, safety, and security incidents. He also established a protocol for investigation and addressing report incident promptly. He also disseminated information on health, safety, and security, initiated workplace health, safety, and security training. He developed health, safety, and security record and our documentation. There is also the role played by safety, health, and security coordinator. He do conduct physical workplace inspection, encourage staff to report workplace hazard and risk, or analysis of internal record is his responsibility, and also to address risk identification at planning and purchasing stage. He do also follow them, and he monitor industrial source of workplace hazard and risk. His qualification should has a bachelor degree in occupational health and safety risk management or related field, of course. And also he should also have a certification in the risk assessment or occupational health and safety preferred, or he should do experienced in conducting workplace hazard and risk assessment. He should be strong in analytic, problem solving, excellent communication and interpersonal abilities, knowledge of relevant regulation and industry standard. He should possess all those qualities in order to be in that position or to possess that position in a good way. There is also another one which is called there's something, let me just talk about this one. How to review and assess the effectiveness of the system that have been put in a place to ensure health and safety at a workplace. One, to review and assess effectiveness of the system that have been put in a place. It is essential and effective to follow a structured approach. Here is a comprehensive method to carry out these assessment. 1. Define the scope and objective by identifying the system and setting the objective. The second one, gather the information or collect documentation, review, and user feedback. This will help you to gather the information. The next one, evaluate a system performance. In evaluation of the performance of the system, 1. Effectiveness, efficiency, reliability, flexibility, user satisfaction. This should be an easy way of evaluating the system performance. Measure how well the system meets its intended objective. This can be done by comparing current performance metric against set targets. That can be helpful. And to assess the resources utilization of the system, determine if the system achieves its objective with optimal use of the resources, for example, time, cost, and human effort. And also evaluate the consistency of the system performance over time. Check the frequency, downtime, failure. And it may also determine how the system or how the system adopted to charge or to change in the environment, such as new regulations, technological advancement, or user need. And also analyze the feedback from the user to assess their satisfaction within the system, look or pattern in complaining or complaints or suggestion for improvement. The next one, identify strengths and weakness. This will help you to know and to evaluate it well. Identify the strength and weakness. When we mean a strength, we want to mean it's performing, how it performed well. Or when we say a weakness, you identify the areas where the system fell short, where it falls short, and recommend improvement. After identifying the strength, recommend improvement by technical enhancement, process adjustment, training program, or policy changes that can help you to identify the recommendation. And the last one, implement and monitor improvement. You may have an action plan, pilot testing, or continuous monitoring. Pilot testing, conduct a pilot test for significant changes to evaluate their impact before full-scale implementation. That will be helpful for you. And you may also, in this course, I told you that we should access compliance with legislated and the internal requirement, because this can help you. Assessing a compliance with the registered and internal requirement involves a systematic evaluation of an organization adherence to relevant laws or regulations and internal policies. Here is a comprehensive approach to conduct this assessment. 1. Identify applicable registration and internal policies. Please, registration, identify all relevant laws and regulations that apply to an organizational operation. This could include industry specific regulations, environmental laws or labor laws, and even data protection and regulation, etc. Internal policies, there is a documentation or internal policies, procedures, and standard that our organization has. The second one, develop a comprehensive framework. Please make attention about these terms, because it will help you to access compliance with registered or legislated and internal requirement. I told you, identify applicable registration and internal policies. Next one, develop a compliance framework by compliance checklist. This checklist of compliance, it based on identified registrations and internal policies. This should detail specific requirement and control, and even risk assessment. Assessing, you please assess the potential risk of non-compliance for each requirement, prioritizing those with a high impact and likelihood. The next year, conduct a compliance audit. You may conduct internal audit and external audit, please. The internal audit, perform an internal audit to evaluate adherence and legislated and internal requirement. This can include reviewing documentation, interviewing employees, and observation operation. While in some cases, external audit may be necessary to ensure objectivity, please, and comprehensiveness. Data collection and analysis will follow data or it will follow this conduct a comprehensive audit. In the data collection, you have document review, please, documents, interviewing and survey. And the next, operational observation. Observe business process and practices to ensure they align with documented procedures and legislated requirement. The next one, evaluate finding. Look on gap analysis, root cause analysis in order to report and recommendation. Cause you will never do anything without recommend. You please recommend after the result. Compliance report is necessary. Action plan recommendation will be necessary. You should know how to report and how to give a recommendation. Compliance report, or prepare a detailed report summarizing findings, including areas of compliance and non-compliance. And you develop an action plan and address compliance issues, including corrective actions, responsible parties, and timeliness, and also provide recommendation for providing or for improving compliance, which may include or which may have a policy revision, addition, training, and process improvement. And next one, you implement. Check if the implementation and monitoring is going on by implement action, training, awareness, continuous monitoring. And also the last one, review and update. You should review and update through periodic review feedback mechanism. In a periodic review, regularly review and update the compliance framework to reflect change in legislation and internal policies. While in feedback mechanism, implement a feedback mechanism to capture and address compliance concerns raised by employees. And next one, we identify workplace health and safety security responsibilities. Because in these parts or in an organization, everyone is responsible to know how they can identify workplace health, safety, and responsibilities caused to protect your organization to be affected by some hazards. The workplace health and safety security responsibilities are essential to ensure a state and compliant working environment. These responsibilities are shared among various stakeholders, including employer or employees, supervisor, and safety officers. Here is detailed overview of the key responsibilities of each group. For employer or as a boss, there is a regular responsibilities like a compliance, policy development, a risk assessment, training, or giving resources. There are also a practical responsibilities. One, to save a work environment, incidents reporting, emergency preparedness, and monitoring and review. While for employees, there is a legal responsibilities like compliance, the same as the boss, reporting. That is his also responsibility for reporting whether it's a new hazard. There is also what we call a practical responsibilities, or like safe practices, like use equipment and tools properly and safety. PPE use, wear and maintain personal protective equipment like PPE as required, and cooperate with employer efforts to maintain a safe and secure workplace. And awareness is also his responsibilities. Supervisor and manager, he also include his legal responsibilities, enforcement, training, his legal responsibilities, risk management, incident response, support, performance monitoring, his practical responsibilities. You may also ask, there is anyone else? There is also many who can involve in the safety and security safe, in order to ensure that the organization is very protected, like this one, who is called health and safety officers. He regulate compliance, policy implementation. That is his legal responsibilities, and he also has practical responsibilities like risk assessment, training, incidents investigation, and advisor role. He plays he advise management on health, safety, and security matters and improvement. He also, there is another man who is called human resource. Human resource, he policy enforcement. That's one. Next, record keeping. He also keeping a record, maintaining accurate records of training or incidents and compliance. He onboarding also. He ensure new employees receive comprehensiveness, health, safety and security training during onboarding, and he also support and well-being program. In support, he support employees in understanding and complying with health, safety and security policies. He also develop and manage employee well-being program that support overall health and safety. There is another man who is called the contractor and visitor. Those visitors, he is also responsible for compliance and reporting. Or you may ask for yourself as a visitor or anyone, how can you investigate injury, illness, and incidents? By investigating injuries, illness, and incident typically involve a systematic approach to gathering information, analyzing data, and identifying root cause. Here is a general framework you can follow. One, immediate response. Response immediately, please. Documentation. Record a detailed information about the incidents, including the time, date, location, individual involvement of the witness, and any other pertinent detail. Take a photography if it's possible. And next, interview witness or victims and anyone else involved to gather their perspective on what happened, and ensure that interviews are conducted promptly while memories are fresh, please. A review record. Examine relevant records such as safety log, medical record, training record, and incident reporting to gather additional information. And the next, please analyze those records, analyze those gathers information, and in order to find a root cause, analyzing, conducting through or RFCA or root cause analyzing to identify the underlying system cause of the incident. Techniques such as 5 ways or fishbone diagram can be helpful in this process. Next one, you recommendation based on findings of an investigation, developing recommendation to prevent similar incidents from occurring in the future. This may include changes to policies, procedures, training program on physical procedures. The next one, you implement. Implementation is very necessary. You implemented the recommended changes and monitor the effectiveness over time. It is essential to ensure that corrective actions are actually carried out and integrated into the organization practice. A continuing improvement. This is necessary. If you implement, you continue to improve. The next one, documentation and reporting. Document the findings of the investigation and prepare a formal report outlining the incidents, its causes, and the recommended corrective action. This report may need to be shared within the regulatory agencies, insurance companies, or other stakeholders as required. How can you evaluate the organization health, safety, and security effectiveness? Evaluating an organization health, safety, and security effectiveness involves a comprehensive assessment of its policies, procedures, practices, and outcome to ensure the well-being and security of its employees, assets, and stakeholders. Here is a structure approach to conducting evaluation. 1. Policy and procedures review. Examine the organization health, safety, and security procedures. Evaluate their clarity, comprehensive, and alignment with relevant laws, regulations, and industry standards. Verify the policies and procedures are communicated effectively to all employees and stakeholders. Comprehensive assessment. Conducting audits or an inspection to assess the organization compliance with health, safety, and security regulations and standards. There is also a risk assessment and management. In risk assessment and management, review organization risk assessment procedures for health and safety, even a security hazard, by evaluating the effectiveness of risk controls and mitigation measures in a place, and also ensure that risk assessment are regularly updated and that new risks are promptly addressed. The next one, know that the incidents analyzing is very necessary. Analyze the organization incident record, including accident, injuries, illness, and security breaches. Identify trends, patterns, and common root cause to prevent recurrence, and also evaluate the effectiveness of incidents investigation process and corrective actions, and also training and education. Training and education. In training and education, access the organization training program related to health and safety, even security, and evaluate the comprehensiveness and effectiveness of trainings content and deliver methods. And also emergency preparedness. You review emergency response plan and procedures and drill to assess the organization readiness to respond to the health, safety, and security emergency, and also evaluate the availability and the accessibility of emergency resources. And also there is what we call an emergency preparedness. I told you that you should have a safety culture and employment engagement. This will also help and helps you in measuring an organization safety culture and employees engagement in health, safety, and security initiative. And also use survey focus group or interviews to gather feedback to employees perceptions and identify areas for improvement, and also raise a culture of continuous improvement and employee involvement in safety and security effort. And also you perform metrics, track key performance indicators, KPIs related to health, safety, and security to measure an organization performance. And also monitor metrics such as injury rates, near miss, reporting complaints rate, and safety audit result. And they also use data to identify trends and also prioritize improvement effects and demonstrate progress over time. And also shareholders engagement are also necessary. Engage with internal and external shareholders to gather feedback and input on health and also safety effectiveness, and also consider perspectives from employees, management, and union regulation and other relevant parties, and also continue improvement, because by developing strategies for continuous improvement based on evaluation finding is necessary, and also establish mechanism please for ongoing monitoring, review a health, safety, and security process to adopt to changing circumstance and emerging risks. And also there is a steps to improve workplace health and safety. This will help you where you take an organization on your workplace by creating a plan for improving health and safety. This will help you to improve those health and security of your workplace, and also inspect your workplace. Regularly check all equipment and tools to ensure that they are well or maintained and safe to use, and also check a storage area and review safe work procedures, and also train your employees regularly. Keep an open dialogue. You have a discussion with them so you will find if there is a problem or no. Investigate an accident. By investigating an accident, even if an accident or an incident does not result in a serious injury, conduct an incident investigation to help determine why an accident happened, so you can take a step to ensure that it will not reoccur or recur. Maintain a record. To maintain a record is very important because it helps you to not forget what has happened and how you can know how the face and the treatment, inspection, incident investigation, and training activities. This information can help you to identify trends in unsafe condition or work procedures and make improvement or improving health and safety key parts of the business. Because safety shouldn't be an afterthought. It is just as important to a successful business as a customer service, inventory control, and financial reporting. Here is some health best practice that can help you to maintain your health well. Eating a healthy diet, getting regular exercises and not smoking, maintain health weight, limiting alcohol, and getting enough rest, because to help you to have a good wealth and health. Common categories in hazard in the workplace: there is a biological, chemical, physical, and even ergonomic, because this ergonomic and psychosocial should involve in a common category for the hazard. In biological hazard include viruses, bacteria, and even an insect and animals that can cause adverse health impact. For example, mold, blood, and other bodily fluids, harmful plants, sewage, dust, and vermin. This vermin, it's also an example. In chemical hazard, these chemical hazard are hazardous substance that can cause harm, and also this hazard can result in both health and physical impact, such as skin irritation, respiratory system irritation, blindness, corrosion, and explosion. While in a physical, these physical hazards are environmental factors that can harm an employee without necessarily touching them, including heat, noise, radiation, and also a pressure. While in an organic hazard are a result of physical factors that can result in musculoskeletal injuries. For example, a poor workstation setup in an office, poor posture, and also manual handling. Also, these psychosocial hazards include those that can have an adverse effect on an employee mental health or well-being. For example, sexual harassment or victimization, stress, and workplace violence. Why health? There is many ways that can health hazard enter in the body, like breathing while you are breathing, and even ingestion and even cut ingestion. This can be a way of hazard or health hazard can enter in your body. For example, of the hazard at a workplace, there is a trip and falls, and even being cut in or struck by moving machine or other object, fire explosion, transportation and vehicle related accident, limited workspace or limited spaces, violence, even harassment. It is another example of the hazard. There's the benefits of safe workplace and environment. There is many benefits of safe and health work environment. There is a strong evidence that participating in good work is good for a mental and mental and well-being. Getting work health and safety right can deliver many benefit to a people and an organization. These include improved health and well-being, greater productivity, higher performance, increase or maximize job satisfaction, greater work participation, and increased social inclusion, and also increase individual or team and even organization resilience or flexibility, low absenteeism rates, less workplace injuries and workers' compensation claim, faster return to work, lower workers' compensation premium, and also your work will never be destroyed because you have a good or your environment is safe. And also know the characteristics of the health in the workplace. There is a characteristics of healthy in a workplace: engaged, satisfaction, employees. When the employees has the tool they need for a success, are actively involved in seeing out of the company objectives and true care about their customers and the final product. They are positioned for flourishing and feel rewarded in the work they're doing, and also the much respect achievement of the common goal is another character, and also to optimize the resources. While action-oriented employees that work well together and feel empowered doing so is the crux of the health workplace. It's not the end all be all of the environment that doing or it can to cater to the need of the person. Why to create a safe workplace environment? One is to reduce stress. Next one, use mechanical aid whenever possible. Wear protective equipment to suit the task. Use color code, poster labels, and all sign to warn employees of protective hazard. Place OCH poster in all works and recreation areas. Use digital significance to broadcast important safety information update. And also eliminate a potential hazard. Make sure that our workers are properly trained. Ensure workers has a proper equipment, and also create or appoint a safe committee and hold safety meeting. This will be a way to create a safe working environment. And also there is a way is workplace safety importance. You should ask at yourself why it is important. It is important because it helps your organization to avoid many losses and also respond to emergencies in a workplace in the following way. One, communicate with emergency coordinator, block and safe pathway, evacuate, and also providing first aid, estimate human injuries and casualties, and also assess damage to the workplace, because that will help you, and also know that the first aider is responsible in the following: provide a first aid, preserve life, and also promote recover. By end of this module, I would like to thank you for your attention. That was a module of you may call it a module or lecture, and also a lesson. It was talking about an occupational health, safety and securities as the bosses. You got this is a very courses or very important courses that you should pay attention about it in order to keep your environment be safe. I'm lecturer Ellie. Let's meet on the next video or the next lecturing program. For more information, on WhatsApp at please 250-723 13400. Thank you for your attention.